Sam Altman has just announced on Twitter that the official GPT store has finally launched, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how you can make your own custom GPT and make money with it. I'll also go over my opinions on if I actually think this is going to be a lucrative way of making money, as well as some good examples that you guys could steal to create your own GPT. So let's get right into it. So to create your very own GPT, you are going to need the paid program, or the Plus program as it's called on ChatGPT. It runs at about $20 American a month, and this will allow you to create as many custom GPTs as you please. Now, if you want to create your own GPT, you can go to Explore GPTs here and then go to Create in the top right corner. However, before we create, first let's look at the store. So you can see they have a featured tab where they curate some top picks of the week that people can test out. And obviously, if you have one of your GPTs in this featured spot on the basically front page of the GPT store, you're guaranteed to make a ton of money. So that's awesome for these creators that are featured this week, especially the first week. It's probably going to be the most popular. But there's also a trending tab which shows the basically most used GPTs. And as you can see at the current time of recording, we have Consensus, AI PDF, Grimoire, which I've actually tried this GPT, it works pretty decently, are all trending at the moment. Then ChatGPT has some that they've created themselves. And then we have the more niche categories like GPTs just for creating images, GPTs for writing, GPTs for productivity. I'm sure you get the idea. You can also search up GPTs. So right here, you can see I searched the word YouTube, and here's a bunch of different GPTs specifically for YouTube. I've actually created my own YouTube assistant, which has a ton of information, and in my opinion is a pretty useful GPT, and it will be linked down below. If you want to try it out, it really supports me, and hopefully I can earn some money from this program. Now, in order to create your GPT, like I was stating earlier, you can just go to the Create tab on the right side. And from here, you'll have to add a profile image for the GPT, which is going to show up on that store. So make sure it is a good image that represents what your GPT is about. You're going to need a name, a description, instructions, and these are very important because this is what's going to make your GPT good or bad. Make sure your instructions are as thorough and in-depth as possible. I'll actually have linked down below in the description my Discord server, and in one of the channels called YouTube Resources, you guys can go ahead and copy an example that I've created just for you completely for free. And this will give you a good idea on how in-depth you should go with your descriptions of your GPTs. Now, the conversation starters are just the pre-inputted prompts that you see on custom GPTs. So you can see right here, I have help me come up with dinner meals, and then it pops up right here. And if I were to click that, it would instantly ask the prompt. So I would recommend coming up with at least 4 different conversation starters that are the most relevant use case for your custom GPT. And then finally, the knowledge, which is also going to be incredibly important. You want to add as much information to the knowledge. So this is going to be PDFs, text files, any information that is going to help make your GPT more knowledgeable than anyone else's is also going to help you make more money because it's going to be more useful. And that's essentially how you get paid, is through usage. So you want to make sure your custom GPT is as knowledgeable as possible. You can also change the capabilities in which your GPT can work with or doesn't work with. So let's say you want image generating with your custom GPT, make sure to have DALL-E on. Same thing for code interpreter and web browsing. And last but not least is the actions. Now, creating an action is a lot more complex, and I'm not going to explain it in this video because it will be way too long. But essentially, an action allows the custom GPT to take information from other applications and bring it into the custom GPT. So if you heard of a platform like Zapier, I know there's a ton of actions with Zapier, or even programs like Google Docs or Google Drive. So essentially, an easy example I could use is that when you set up an action, I can set up an action that takes a Google document in my Google Drive, and it will scan all the information in that Google Drive, and then it will bring that information back over into ChatGPT, into our custom GPT. Now, these are a lot more complex to set up. However, I think this is how you're going to make a ton of money, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but let's go over how you actually publish your GPT. So when you select save, you want to make sure it is set to everyone. If it's on only me or anyone with a link, you are not going to be able to make money with your custom GPT. It needs to be set on everyone. Now do keep in mind when you're publishing, your name is going to be public as well as a website if you do have that linked, and that could be a good thing. I like having my website here. It's going to lead more traffic, hopefully, to my website if my GPT performs well. And the unfortunate part is if you don't want to show your public name and you try and turn it off, you're going to get this message up here that says you can't publish a GPT unless you have a published name. Now, lastly, we just need to select a category. I'm not actually going to publish this GPT because I didn't create anything here, but there's a few different categories and you just want to make sure your GPT is assigned to the correct category because it's actually important. If you look on the GPT store, if you're not on the right category, you're going to get listed in a different category and that might hurt the overall usage of your GPT. Now let's talk about how you actually get paid with GPTs. Now, in my personal opinion, I think the people that are going to make the most amount of money with this program is going to be the ones that create completely unique GPTs that no one else has on the store. And I think that's going to come from using the capabilities of the action feature within the custom GPT. Actions allow you to do so many cool things, and I'll try and put up some examples on screen right now. But basically, actions are what set aside an average GPT to a really useful GPT, and it's a lot harder to set up actions, so there's going to be a lot less competition out there, meaning it's going to be a lot easier to make money. What I think is going to happen is that everyone and their mother is going to create a custom GPT, and 99% of them are going to be completely garbage because there is no barrier to entry to create your own custom GPT. I mean, just think about it. The only barrier to entry is paying for a $20 account, and then anyone can upload a custom GPT. So although I'm pretty knowledgeable within YouTube, and I think my YouTube GPT would actually be useful to a lot of people, any one of you guys could go ahead and make your own YouTube GPT with absolutely no knowledge about how to make YouTube videos, and who's to say if your GPT is more valid than mine? That's why I don't actually think you'll make a lot of money by creating just average GPTs that don't involve some type of action, just because it's so easy to replicate. And I think the market is just going to become way too oversaturated with a million different GPTs for a million different use cases. With that being said, if you can think of some type of GPT that involves an action that's also unique and solves a problem, I think you are going to make so much money with this program just because of how many users are on ChatGPT every single day. And keep in mind, this program is brand new. It is so new, in fact, that they don't even have the rewards program set in place. So as stated in the article that Sam Altman linked, he said, in Q1, we will launch a GPT Builder revenue program. As a first step, US builders will be paid first on user engagement with their GPTs. We'll provide details on the criteria for payments as we get closer. This is a bombshell and it absolutely blows, and honestly, I'm not even that shocked. It happens with every single social media revenue program where the US gets paid out first, and then a year later, it comes to other countries. So unfortunately, if you are not a US citizen, this revenue program is not going to apply to you, so don't even bother for now. But if you are an American citizen, congratulations to you. I'd recommend looking into building your own custom GPT with an action, and you could start raking in some dough. It's important to note that although the revenue program isn't created technically just yet, you will be paid out for the usage that you get to this current moment. So the program has started, although the payouts haven't started yet. So I do recommend starting as soon as possible. Like right after you watch this video, go start making your own custom GPT if you're an American citizen. I hope that answered any of your questions. And if you do have additional ones, leave them in the comments section. And it has been your boy Trent from the Kingdom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.